Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is the Commando Cast, a video cast about all things Star Wars Destiny. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
So I have to be honest, I haven't had this much fun watching other people play Star Wars Destiny since the last Worlds. So in today's video, I'm recapping this last weekend's Galactic Open Outer Rim, hosted by ARH. Hey there, Star Wars Destiny folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and the Commando Cast, and man, what a weekend. All right, so before we get started tonight, you right now are probably hearing a crazy hum in the background. That's because my CPU is working overdrive to get all of the videos from this weekend spooled. So what I'm going to do for today, I don't normally do it, but we're going to throw on some tunes in the background to help drown that out. Normally, I would wait until this is done, but you know what? I'm a dad, and I only have so much time. So thank you for your understanding. Hopefully the tunes will help drown that out. So, man, this weekend was a blast. So I was planning on playing this weekend. So, I mean, I'll be honest. Basically what happened is, and it's not a bad thing. So during the winter time, my wife's a big skier. I am not. So what happens is during the winter when things are good, like the weather and the snow, my wife goes up skiing and I watch the kiddo. And I just let her go whenever she wants because I do this all the time, which uses a ton of time. And I don't ever want to have to sit down and have the conversation on who's not doing what, because that probably won't end in my favor. So if she wants to go, we don't do it. So I basically did, it was I was going to do wave 1, which was 0400. And I basically figured he'd wake up about halfway through that tournament and then all of a sudden I'd start losing. So instead, Liquid Snake, huge shout out to that guy. We're going to talk about him a lot today, by the way. But huge shout out to him. He stepped up. He said, hey, man, like, piggyback on me. You can just record my games. So I still woke up at the same time. I was able to get all 6 rounds recorded out of the last couple. You'll notice I wasn't moving around, zooming in as much because little man was up, but, we can mute. Anyway, lecture over, because who cares about all that? Let's get into today. So, again, I want to give also huge shout out to Sarah Evans, who I was going to go collect this anyway, but she did it for me. She posted it all. She posted it up on the ARH site. Top 8, what you're seeing now, what you'll see for most of this is the top 8 of all 3 heats. She collected and posted it, and man, if there's anybody in Destiny who does a whole bunch of work behind the scenes, it's somebody can jump on a grenade. It's Sarah. I don't know a better way to say it. She does a ton of work. Lifts a ton of weight, and all behind the scenes. So thank you, Sarah. So yeah, what I wanted to do was just kind of run down my takes from the weekend, because there was a lot of things that surprised me. So Heat 1 was the one that I was able to watch blow for blow the whole way through. Like I said, I was able to record Snake's games, but I was also, I didn't see the other games while I was doing it. So I was recording Snake's games, so I was watching what was happening. Effectively as if I was playing in a Heat 1, which was really, really awesome. And then Heat 2 and 3, I was watching as the round results came in. 2, actually, I was watching from lunch at a bar, which was pretty great. And then Heat 3 was obviously Sunday, so I was catching that as it went in. But watching everything as they came in. So yeah, again, it was a great time. It reminded me a lot of watching 2020 Worlds. I think 2020 Worlds. Yeah, no, would have been 2019 Worlds. Yeah. Oh man, that's a long time ago. All right. Anyway, so talking Heat 1. So Snake. So a lot of times I get the feedback when so a lot of times as a third party, right, recording games with a third party, a lot of times I get feedback, hey, why are you not showing us the cards in their hand? And what happened with Snake this weekend was a great example of why I don't do that, right? Because he ended up going 5-1 on the day, And you guys can see from the videos that will go up this week showing that I intentionally avoided looking at people's hands. And the reason for that is that I don't want anybody to say you were giving anybody extraneous information, right? I mean, Snake could have gone 1-5, could have gone 0 I mean, it's Snake, he's not going to go for, let's be clear, right? But you guys get it, right? If I had been looking at people's cards and right, if I was streaming him and whatever, you guys get it, right? Perfect example of why I don't do it. Because the guy went 5-1, and he went with my favorite deck. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. My favorite deck is actually Bo-Katan, but Bo-Kata's dead, so I moved into Bo-Rex. Bo-Rex Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man, he just rolled. He rolled well all day. He played well all day. Great job. So Snake took it down with a 5-1. I do want to say I think Heat 1 was really impressive. There was a lot of really good players all weekend. Let's be very clear. Like if you look at the top 8 that we're showing now, like there's not a name on that board, but you haven't seen before. Not a single name you haven't seen before, right? So which makes sense. But I mean, Snake did what he needed to do. So Snake went 5-1 with Bo-Katan, Rex, TMNT. Heat 2, Hypo took it with Etrando Droideka. Actually, so. I used to call it's Deadly Trando, so I guess it's Shield DD Trandos. Giving a shout out to my boys, right, from back in the day. And then Heat 3 was 5-die effective start with Hondo Pre and Extremist, right? Hondo's single die, but he comes in with the 2 pirates, so 5 effective there. Not a bad deal. I still think that Hondo should have had a PA instead of coming in, but you know what? It is what it is. So yeah. So overall, let's just run down the top 8 list. So we had Bo-Katan Rex did pretty well. I will have to say it didn't make as many top 8s as I thought it was going to. It really only hit 3, right? It made 8. So Shady Buffalo, which is still like one of my favorite alias names. I love that freaking name, man. So Shady Buffalo took 8th in Heat 3 with it, and we had 2 in the top 8 in Heat 1. That's a very good deck for a Heat 1, right? Because it's so early in the morning. Like, sometimes just rolling 3s works in this game. Like, we've seen that over and over again, right? But we had some also, like, Norman. I wanted to give a shout out to Norman, and actually Byros ended up playing it as well later on in the day. But Norman on Ejin Ihan, that deck's still really good, and I mean, no secret, Norman's a really, really good player, and he did what he did it. So Beacon was also on Hondo Pre, which then we saw again top in Heat 3 with Moloch piloted to a win in Heat 3. So that deck was making its rounds. Moloch was on, and I loved it. So there's actually a game, I think it's a round 3 or 4 game. It was Moloch versus Snake, and Moloch was basically like, dude, it's early and I just want to roll 3s, and like that was my approach last time. I ran pilots because I just didn't want to have to. It was at 4 in the morning, and I can appreciate that, right? It's like sometimes you just want to roll damage. I love it. So he did well as well. I mean, he went 5-1. He just got beat out on strength schedule to Snake because Snake was able to take him down, and completely awesome there. The one shout out I definitely want to give on the day is to, I hope I'm saying this right, I think it's Stev Dov. To me, it's Standard Deviation. Every time I see your name, it's Standard Deviation. So to Standard Deviation, piloting, so I know he's from Seattle, so local boy-ish to me within the grand scheme of the world. He's only 4 hours north of me. Running the Night Sisters, like, honestly, I think it's a garbage deck, but like if anybody can pilot a garbage deck well, it's him, right? He's a very, very good player. I was very impressed by this deck, actually, just the sheer number of rerolls. It's just like, oh, okay, you pitched a reroll and you got what you needed. Okay, I'm going to play a die to remove. I'm going to play Isolation to remove your die and reroll this other die. And all of a sudden there's like stuff on the table like Asajj is rolling in like 19 times and twice, to be clear, twice. But no, that was a really good deck there. So great shout out there. That is round 6 game. That's round 6 game, so that'll go up basically in a week and change by the time that gets up, because we got a lot of videos recorded, hence the background. But no, that was really great to see. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think I mean, there were a couple decks that surprised me. Royal Sabak, I mean, again, we know he's a good player, no secret there. But E-Cody E-Rex United, that's interesting that United actually worked out better than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is a surprise to me. And then again, we did see that second E-Gen E-Han. We did see, I think, possibly our only blue heavy deck, right? Ol Compedus, I don't know how to say it right, but again, everybody knows who he is, right? Rose running E-Cody, or Key, running Key Luke with United. Pretty good deck. Again, it's just like, just roll melee or shields in that case, and then the other deck that saw a little more success than I expected it to see was Garindan Moth. Do you see a couple people running that? I mean, it's actually an interesting meta call there, right? Because, I mean, it's a Blizzard deck, right? I mean, you're just trying to get big stuff down on the table. It makes sense. And when Blizzard hits the table, I mean, if you run up against DM, then sorry, like, you just put a bunch of work into it. Yeah, they take 8 in the wreck, but it's way better than taking, like, 7 for 1 to the face, right? Which they can definitely pay for. So I was surprised that deck did as well as it did, but again, if you look at the meta, like I said, I think it's a good meta call because there are very few, and that's the next thing I want to hit on. There's very few yellow villain overall. You do have the Trandos, and you have Trandos, and you have Pre, and then you have huge shout I want to give to Plat. Like, if there was a deck that I didn't expect to see this weekend, it was Plat's deck. Like, Jango. Like, Jango, yeah, Jango Bosk. Just like legit straight bounty hunters, man. Like, awesome. I love it. Great work. So anyway, looking through the list, I mean, again, I enjoyed this weekend tracking everything. Lots of surprises this weekend. I mean, what's not a surprise is a lot of the players in the top. Like, I don't think there's a huge surprise there. I was a little surprised with the meta breakdown. I don't know if people are just trying to be different, if they were like trying to outplay the meta, which then was like playing 9D chess or whatever. Like, I don't know how it works, but one thing I do want to talk about was absent that I was shocked at was pilots. Like, do you know who, like, you guys know, I think Iden's busted, and Iden isn't on this list, so clearly I'm wrong. Maybe Iden's not busted. But that 3-die Iden deck, like, I don't know, maybe people were just scared of Rando Mando's triple Den Rebel coming in and blowing them off the table. Maybe, I don't know. But really the only piloting decks we saw were like the 3-wide minion decks, right? We saw the Rebel Pilot Smuggler, and then we saw the Senator Smuggler variants and all that type of stuff, right? Because, getting an extra free 2 points for running non-uniques is pretty good. So anyway, lots of what a great weekend of Destiny, right? It's hard to argue in a weekend like this that we're all still playing a dead game. So, I mean, I think that'll cut it off tonight. Like I said, I just had a great time this weekend watching everybody play. I was, and you know what? It's kind of fun because actually it might have even been more shocking than before, right? I mean, when we were going into Worlds, we were in Worlds 2019. Man, that was a long time ago. We were pretty sure what we knew we were going to see. We're going to see droids. We're going to see some droid spoilers. And we're going to see some certain people at the top table, right? And this was way different. I mean, I'm not saying this is a world. That's not what I'm saying. But it's basically our, like, core. I mean, it basically is, right? Like, it's a small community. We know what it's going to be. You guys will get what I'm laying down. So anyway, I had a great time this weekend. I hope you guys did as well. It has been announced that there's going to be mid-cycles. So let's be clear. Not a shot. The number of spot glosses available for this time around were lower than the other times around, so I'm hoping that, and I didn't see my Bo-Katan, so I'm hoping maybe Bo-Katan's there. Not that I'm going to be able to top 8, like I was able to get an Afro before, which was awesome. I don't think I've got the skill to get into the top 8 based on what we're seeing right now. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to try to get a Bo-Katan if she's top 8, and that is a hint. Yes, that is a hint, my folks. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are doing a great job, and by you guys I mean ARH, but also the players, right? The players keeping it in. You know what? We're keeping this alive, and every single one of us has a part in keeping it alive. So, anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me today. Again, like I said, I just wanted to run down and have a chat. And if this was a garbage cast, it was a garbage cast. And you know what? Yeah, it is what it is. So hopefully you enjoyed the tunes in the background. Again, I want to give a huge shout out to Liquid Snake. Thank you, man, for letting me piggyback on your games. We were going to be there no matter what, but you ended up winning the thing and making Dice Commando look good, right? And if you look down the list, you're the only DC guy that ended up making it in the top 8. So it's my boy. So nice job, folks. Nice job, everybody. Destiny Jr., huge shout out for putting your guys up there. But again, that's no surprise either. You kids, you young men, whatever, it doesn't offend you. You're a good player. So anyway, nice job to everybody. Fantastic job, ARH. And if nothing else, folks, go Commando.